Hi, I'm Landis. Welcome to my studio.
Two, three, four.
Okay, so we've got it all engraved. It's been stamped and engraved, and now I'm going to trim up this excess here with a jeweler's saw. We can't cut these out in the press, so these have to be, otherwise it'll smash down the teeth that are on the inside. So this is why I have to trim this by hand to avoid from smashing those sharp teeth down. It's one of the best features about these picks is the raised teeth. We have a patent pending on this. When I first started developing these, that was one feature I really wanted to address, because there's no picks that really stick to your finger right. People are always having to put them on too tight. They're uncomfortable. You're constantly adjusting them. But these have little inner gripper teeth. I call it the death grip. And that's our patent name on it, death grip liner. And they're tiny little raised sharp teeth, and the teeth are pointed one direction. So when you slide your finger in, it resists coming off because those barbs dig in. They're pointed this way. So they really work well. And that's one thing I think that most people really like the most about these picks, besides the great tone they get. Back edge here I just trim off with the snips and finish up with nice little finishing file here. I believe this is Swiss made file. It's a really nice smooth finish on it. And also, when I was designing these, I was really getting into dobro, and I wanted something really kind of specifically for dobro. I noticed I kind of hold my hand at a weird angle, so I designed the blade with this kind of parabolic round. It's a paddle shape. I've been calling it a paddle shape. And what that does, it looks clumsy, but it really works well for compensating for any angle of attack. So if you're wearing angled blades, it kind of works like that. Because no matter what angle the string comes off of, it's always coming off that same radius. Even if you're playing the side, on a normal pick that would be a very wide part of the blade. But with these paddle shapes, no matter what angle you're coming off, it's the same radius all the way around. So although they look clumsy, they're actually a kind of more precise way of plucking the string. This thick silver blades, we start out with .052 sterling silver, which is twice as thick as normal blades, which are always generally .025. About every pick on the market made since National first patented them in 1930, or they first applied for the patent in 1930. Basically every pick that's been on the market, and we see a new one about every 2 years, is basically a knockoff of the same design. They're always .025, and always nickel, brass, or stainless steel, and that's what we have available to us. So I tried to address everything from the alloy, the thickness of the blade, the shape of the blade, and an inner liner to really come up with the best interface to connect the player with the instrument. These picks are as important to a banjo as a bow is to a violin. People spend tens of thousands of dollars. You can spend up to $10,000 or more on a violin bow. So $100 for a pair of sterling picks is really not a bad deal, especially if you're playing a $5,000, $10,000 banjo with pedal steel. You want the very best interface you can get, and I believe I have it right here. I like them, and I did not invent these to just, and there'll always be a certain market for these ones. You'll see them every other year come up with a new variation, and people will be compelled to buy them, to try them in their search to find something that really works well for them, only to be disappointed again and saying basically there's really not much difference between all the picks made from 1930 up until now. I've changed just about every aspect of it except the length of the band. These are 2-inch bands because people's fingers are still the same size. So that's one thing that did not have to be changed, or didn't need changing or improving. So I smooth the file marks down. I usually spend extra attention to this edge of the blade. Make sure I get a nice rounded edge here, and that'll be polished to a mirror finish, so it will produce the finest tone we can. So now that's all trimmed up, I'm going to take it back to the annealing bench and heat this up red hot and quench it. That'll soften it up to where it'll be more pliable, and we can shape it a little easier. It'll be better for the players, because you're constantly squeezing them, manipulating them as your fingers. Sometimes they'll swell and shrink with the climate. They have to be adjustable. This is why we've gone so many lengths to keep that thick blade, but yet still have a band that's that's thin enough to be able to be adjustable. So they've really been working well. So I'm going to anneal it and get right back. Just going to heat this up to a cherry red. I engraved an E on this one. It's for Earl. That's all it is. Now it's soft. Okay, it's been softened. Now I can manipulate it a little better. I start by getting that first curve on the ends of the bands. It's all shaped by hand. This is the hardest part of the curve, is that very end. And it works pretty good. Get that started. And now I'm going to just deepen the blade a little bit, get a little more curve in there. Get the blade started curving a little bit. There. Now I'm going to put it in this dapping block, and this will help me shape it. I just push it right down there, and I can mark it now. Use it kind of as an anvil. I'll mark it 925. That's the alloy of sterling silver. It's 925 parts of 1,000 is silver. The rest is copper. And that helps push the blade down there in a nice curve. You see the profile there. Now I use my new pliers that I like so much. And this will put the final shape in it. And now, got that pretty close, and I'm going to just bend the, I'm going to widen this out in the back, just kind of give it a tapered so it fits the finger real nice. Of course, there are different ways of wearing them. Some people wear them right up close to the fingernail. Some people like to stick them way out there like that. Some people even like to straighten out the band and stick them way out there. So that's your choice. You wear them however you want them, but they can be manipulated by hand if you like to shape them. Some people even twist the blade a little bit. But now this is ready for the buffing machine.